This is Abigail Thompson from Deer Creek High School. She signed a national number 10 with us last week and will be coming next fall to play for us.
And just want to point out Camille Heron, who's right here in front of me. Camille is our volunteer assistant coach in cross country. Camille was the only American woman that was a finisher in the recent Pan Am Marathon, the Pan Am Games in Mexico. And in January, am I right? She will be participating in the U.S. Olympic Marathon trials. So let's give her a round. In my life, I have run purposefully about 50 miles. I'm almost 50 years old. Camille, last week, how many miles did you run?
I just ran a marathon, so it wasn't very much.
Was it a light week? What was a light week?
About 60 miles.
60 miles. Okay. That's why Corey plays basketball and everybody else plays. A lot of running involved there. All right, we got a lot going on. I want to say thanks to those of you who brought canned food today. We have a canned food drive going on in athletics that will go on through December 4th. So if you come to any athletic event, we'd appreciate you bringing those items. Let's see what else. Well, rather than give you all the updates, I'll let our coaches give you the updates and I'll fill in the blanks at the end. We're going to start with women's basketball. Our preseason ranking in women's basketball this year is 3rd in the country. We've kind of come to expect that. We're pretty dang good at women's basketball. We have a great coach. So here to give us an update, welcome our coach, Rob Edmisson.
First of all, congratulations to all the fall teams that are off and running and doing well. And I think I saw on our website the other day, it's amazing how many programs we have rated in the top 10 in the country. Our school. I think that's amazing. A testament to our athletic department and our coaches. Women's basketball, we're kind of off to a slow start with regard to playing games. Seems like we've been going a while. We've only played one game that counts on our schedule. We started off the season playing K-State and Texas A&M out of the Big 12, which obviously were huge challenges, but I was really proud. Our kids competed really well. Both of those games. If we probably would have flipped the games and played A&M first and K-State second, we probably got a win at K-State. A&M, defending NCAA national champs from last year. They went 6'7", 6'6", 6'5". Probably should have used our men's basketball team as a tool to get ready for that. They were so big. Amazingly, our kids out-rebounded them by 10, and out-rebounded them on the offensive boards 21-9. And there was one time on the floor I looked, and PK, we call it PK, it's Felicia knows, we call it PK. She's we list her probably 5'9", 5'10", I don't know what she really is. But she was the tallest player we had on the floor at one point. And I looked out there, and it looked like when you go to a game, 4th grade game, that team's got a bunch of kids that are like 6 foot, the other kids are 4'5". And that's kind of what we looked like. But we really battled. And it was neat. A&M played Louisville yesterday, and Louisville is rated number 9 in the country, and they beat them worse than they beat us. And so we're better than Louisville. But one of the kids after the game in their post-game quote said, well, we played a lot better today. We're a lot better rebounding team. Since the Oklahoma City game, our coaches have been harping on us about rebounding. So at least we earned our paycheck in that game. That's why we play those games. I mean, we don't go play K-State because our egos are that big. We go play them because they give us a nice little paycheck, which helps us. So our goal in those games always, just like anybody in life, is you want to earn your paycheck. And I know in both those games, when we left, those coaches felt like they were the game. So we don't play again until next Tuesday, and it's a conference game. Kind of strange, but it's a conference game early. And then we get busy. We play over Thanksgiving, and we'll play Union over in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Right now, Union's number 2 in the country. We're number 3, so that will be a pivotal early season matchup. And to give us an idea where we're at, well, we know where we're at. It's just a matter of what we do, what we need to do. Our kids have set up a pretty lofty goal. When you go play A&M and K-State and do well, it changes what people expect of you. Those are the type of games when people wake up and see the score, they go, oh, wow, okay, you guys must be pretty good. So, but it gets busy, and then we get into conference play, but I think this team's got a chance to be really good. We've only got 10 kids this year. We're down in numbers a little bit, so we've got to stay healthy. We've got one player that will be eligible next semester, Nicolette Smith, that hasn't played right now, that will be an impact player for us. She's 6'2", transfer from University of Kansas, tremendous shooter. Can actually probably shoot well any of our daughters from the three-point line. Felicia, the transfer, that was an MVP in her conference last year, and then Dietrich Caldwell from UTEP, who was a Conference USA Player of the Year, transferred in. So those are our 3 new kids to go with our 7 returners. We just have a tremendous amount of balance. We've had 3 different leading scorers already in 3 different games. The other night in our win over St. Thomas, we had 7 kids in double-figure scoring. Kayla McKenzie came off the bench and was our leading scorer at 25 points and hit 5 threes. So the strength of our team is the balance of our team, and it's a fun bunch. They're fun to coach, and they work really hard. So I think we're in for another exciting year. They moved to the national tournament. It's out of Jackson, Tennessee. So our goal is to be the first team to win it on a fair floor. Super. Thank you much.
Where'd they move it to?
Frankfort, Kentucky. No. Hopefully there's an airport close. Thank you very much.
All right, throughout the year, Brian Harvey put his schedule together in such a way that he would never have to come to lunch and address this group. Finally, he has graced us with his presence, and he's here to tell us about a really important game that we have coming up this weekend and to give us a review of soccer. Brian Harvey.
Actually, Billy put the schedule together. So anyway, but it is glad to be here. I'm sorry that I've been absent from the last couple of meetings, but a lot's been going on. We'll start with the men's program. The men went 8, 6, and 4. We were in overtime about 6 times, I believe. So we were very, very close. So we were a team that was just living on the edge all the time. And unfortunately, we just didn't seem to be able to find a way to win. We'd always just find a way to lose. And we were a young team, and we put it down to maybe perhaps lack of concentration in certain areas, certain times of the game. But overall, they acquitted themselves very well, and they had a very good year. We had two young men placed on the All-SAC conference team. One of them was Stephen Short. Stephen, would you just stand up, please? A defender with 8 assists, which is pretty high. He's one of the quickest players in the SAC conference, and he's been a great contributor in the last 3 years. A young man that won a national tournament his first year in America with Bethel University. Our ladies program is a different matter. It was, and I really don't understand, because I tell the boys the same thing as I tell the girls. Maybe they just listen a little bit better, but the girls went 17-2-1, were nationally ranked the whole year, and fortunately they've been granted a really good wish for their hard work. They play this coming Saturday in the national tournament against Christian out of Chicago, a team that's ranked higher than us. But we play better when we're the underdogs, and we went to the national tournament last year with the same team, same group of girls, and I feel very strongly that we can go a step further this year. We placed 3 girls on the SAC All Conference first team, and the young lady who's sitting over here, Brenna, would you stand up for a moment, please? Brenna, this is Brenna's second year to be the defensive player of the tournament, so not only the tournament but the season defensive SAC conference player. So it's been a very good year for her, and rightly so. She's had a tremendous year. We've got lots of girls who can score goals, which is important, so they can't really zoom on to one player. We've got one girl who scored 18 and had 4 assists, another girl who scored 14 and had 6 assists, and one girl who scored 9 goals. So I feel confident about Saturday. We'll have to wait and see, but I feel very good. We've got the home draw, and hopefully as many students can come out as we possibly can, and people could talk it up with your students and get as many people out there. That would be noon on Saturday. So please, if you can, get out and support these young ladies who have been working tremendously hard since last August. It's an amazing thing. we start our season. Denny Craver always looks at me and says, I'm the problem because everybody comes back in early August, and he says I'm the problem that everything starts up again. But these young ladies were starting the season, they were practicing, it was 112, 114 degrees. And now it's going to be 36, 40 this afternoon when they go out there. So full marks to them, they've done tremendously well. Any questions, please, about men or women's soccer?
It's going to be nice Saturday, 72.
Really? Good. Well, I guess you'll do well then. It's like everything else. I mean, some people listen and some people don't. Oh, do you have the same problem, Coach? Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, Coach, you took my sheet. Can I have that?
Oh, sorry. My glasses are on the table.
This says Jim Abbott's a jerk. All right. Now, I want to, Rich made this whole sheet of stuff for us, and it says at the top that Brian Harvey will be on the radio with David Garrett on 1340 at 2:20 today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Camille, I think if he only gets one question, maybe it should be from a woman asking why women listen better than men. If not, then we'll have to, Coach Harvey will have to get somebody calling you on a good question. All right, enough about that. Now we'll switch over to men's basketball. Dionne Phelps has been here at OCU for 6 or 7 months now, getting his first taste of action. In fact, got his first ever victory as a collegiate head coach just the other day. So let's get an update from Coach Phelps on this.
First of all, thank you guys for coming out. We really, I know I speak for all the coaches that we really appreciate you guys supporting us. As far as men's basketball is concerned, guys, I'm getting an opportunity to learn our group and getting a good feel for them. I brought Corey here today because I think of all the players that I have, he represents the philosophy of what we're trying to build here at OCU. Hard worker, dedicated off the floor, dedicated on the floor, relentless, and I hope, you know, when you guys come out and see us play, I hope that's what you see. A team that's committed to performing at a high level, competing at a high level, and competing the right way. And that's why I brought him here today, because I wanted him to know that, and I wanted you guys to know that. As far as the games that we played, we had Dallas Baptist when we first started out, which I've been told probably wasn't the smartest thing to schedule as far as Division II teams for your first game out. But I'm a big believer in just challenging ourselves and finding out who we are early. And Dallas Baptist showed us that. I think we were up 10 at half and came back out in the second half and probably didn't play as well as I wanted us to play. But it gave us an opportunity to see who we were. And a lot of times when you're building a young team and putting a team together, sometimes they have a hard time putting two halves together. And that's what we've done. We started working towards that. We set certain goals after that game, came back, and I think we played, what was that? Southwest Adventist, which we took over. The scheduling was a little difficult, but we took about a week off. As far as games were concerned, we practiced every day. But as far as that game was concerned, we got an opportunity to build some confidence in our guys. Those games were, for me as a coach, it's a little tough to play those type of games, but for our guys, it was an opportunity to go out there and understand what discipline's all about. They were biting at the bits to put on a great show and get all these dunks and things like that, but I held them back and told them that I think the most important thing is to learn how to be disciplined. Even if you're up a bunch, that's not our concern. Our challenge is us. We set our own standards, we set our own goals. Are we accomplishing those things throughout the game? And so we finished that game, and it paid off, because when we went on the road to North Texas, it was a really good bunch. They've been very successful throughout the last 5 years. Going over there was a great challenge. And the areas that we were deficient in the first game, which was basically just turnovers and making free throws, we improved upon when we went to North Texas, which is a very athletic group. Some people, as we walked out of the game, we were tied. We were down 1 at half, ended up losing the game by 13, and you know how people are. They thought that was a good effort, but we're not out there for moral victories. We went up there to try to defeat North Texas. We wanted to make our name and stake our claim and win that game. So no excuses. We didn't accomplish the things that we wanted to accomplish against North Texas, but I think our guys felt good about themselves, that they went out and they competed that full game. We've had a couple of, for the last 2 weeks, we've been hit with a few injuries. One is Alonzo Edwards, who is going to sit out this first semester. He, more than any other player, has had the roughest 2 weeks I've ever seen of a player. I think 1 week he busted his eye open. The next week, and at the same time, he dislocated his big toe, so he was out. He came back the next week, got elbowed in the mouth, and dislocated, I think, 3 teeth. But every day he comes back, he's so relentless, and he just shows back up to practice. I don't think he's going to practice, but he does. And so he's another one that has a strong character and strong heart, and I really appreciate having him. So we go tomorrow. We leave at 6 a.m. and we head to San Antonio, which I'm excited about. For you guys don't know, that's where I came from as far as coming up to Oklahoma. That was my last place of employment, was in San Antonio. So I'm looking forward to getting back there. We have a tournament there at Our Lady of the Lake University. 2 different types of styles we're about to go up against. One team is a half-court execution, a coach from Rice University, and they're very disciplined. The next night, we play Our Lady of the Lake, which is just helter-skelter from the time of the tip to the end of the game, running, jumping, pressing, and everything. So I'm excited about that. Our guys will enjoy that. I think on average, every team that has played Our Lady of the Lake has shot between 25 and 30 free throws. It seems like every second or third possession, they're putting you on the free throw line. And that's their philosophy. They will foul until the referees won't call it anymore. So we're looking forward to that. That's pretty much about it. Do you guys have any questions? Any? Someone asked a question about Shane Rogers. Shane, just like I probably would have done, I think it was one Sunday night I gave those guys off, and Kevin Durant happened to show up at the gym, and so he decided to play. And got a bruised thigh. And so he's back now. So it took him about a week to get that thigh back together, but he'll be back. Everybody's healthy, so we're looking forward to leaving tomorrow morning to San Antonio, and we'll be back Saturday night. But does anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
Dionne, why don't you get some of those wrestling masks for Corey and
Yeah, exactly.
Archie, could you do that?
I got it hooked up.
Good. Well, one other thing I wanted to let you guys know, we're going to camp, which is a Black Friday drop and shop camp. So if any of you parents have little ones from K through 6 that you want to drop off for about 8 hours so you can go shopping, we're going to run a basketball camp. We're going to feed them at lunch. You can drop them off at 8 a.m. in the morning, and we will let them go at 4, but if you're late still shopping, you can get them at 5. I promise you we'll stay. So, but that's all that's going on. Go ahead. $60 for the camp. If it's a group, if you sponsor a group of people, then we'll reduce that $10 per athlete. So we will be there, and our guys will be the counselors, and we're excited about that too. But, so please take advantage of it. All right. Thanks.
All right, Archie, you prepared to give us a quick update?
I'm ready.
All right. I didn't give you the big one because we're a little. You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Here for a wrestling update, Archie Randall.
Girls are wrestling well. Thank you very much. Any questions? Our girls program is doing pretty well. We started wrestling international. We went to a college tournament in Missouri, which had 150 plus athletes in it. We had 10 finalists, 6 champions. Then we went to 2 international tournaments where you wrestle the top girls in all the different countries, etc. like that. We went to Sunkist, wrestled the Canadians and the Japanese, did real well. We beat the Japanese 28-27 to win the tournament. This last week we went to New York. It was probably the worst trip of my entire life. planes didn't connect, we were at airports forever, all those kind of things, plus we wrestled really bad. We got beat by the Mongolians, the Canadians from Ontario, somebody named from Mencheka, wherever that is, somebody from Saskatoon, I don't even know what that is. The Colombians were there, so we didn't wrestle very well. But the good thing about it is we don't wrestle at the national tournament. That's all international. So they're kind of licking their wounds, and they're on the way to Missouri Valley right now. And I'm pretty sure that they'll come back from Missouri Valley. Guys' team has been doing really well. They opened up against OU, which traditionally just kind of beats the dog out of us. Our three freshmen got beat up pretty bad, but our seniors and our older wrestlers, we wrestled well. We won two matches out of the 10. 2 of the matches we lost by 1. One of the matches we made an error and got put on our backs. We should have won 5 out of 5. We should have been closer to them than that. The best thing about that, when you wrestle like all of us do this, we go out and look for that competition, is for us, for wrestlers, is watching the coach. Okay? The new coach, Mark Cody, at 149 pounds, was up out of his seat. That means we're winning whether we score or not. He's up out of his seat. He's worried to death. By the time we got to heavyweight, our heavyweight Mike Brown was wrestling. And if you guys were last time, Big Mike, he lost to a kid named Martinez, who was a D2 national champ last year, 2-1. So we wrestled real well. At our tournament, the OCU Open, which is traditionally a really tough tournament, because OSU knows OCU and UCO are there. We had 5 finalists, 3 champions. We beat 2 of UCO's All-Americans, and 149 pinned the OU guy in the finals. So they did well. Now this next week they went to Knox. I was in New York, and I sent the team to Knox with Coach Brown and Coach Wilcox, and I guess I probably ought to stay away because they had 7 champions at the tournament. They had 7 champions. There were times that I watched the film for the last couple of days. There are times during the tournament on the 6th match where they're all OCU kids wrestling. So the men's team is wrestling really well, really well. We head for Menlo, California tomorrow morning at 4. Our next home event is the 23rd of November at 12 o'clock. We'll wrestle Missouri Baptist here. There'll be some 700 high school kids in there at that time because we're running a high school tournament at the same time. I invite you guys to come out and watch us. The men's team and the women's team are doing really well. Any questions? No? That's good.
Okay, Melanie, come on up here. I'll just run through a few other things that would be good for you to know related to ranking. Women's golf team ranked #1 in the country. Those rankings just came out in the last week. Men's golf ranked #3 in the country. Softball, Rich, I read that. You didn't put it on this great sheet. Oh, yeah, you did. Softball ranked, I was going to give you a hard time, but of course you did. Softball ranked #3 in the NAIA preseason national rankings. Baseball ranked #1 in the preseason national rankings. Nowhere to go but down from there. Archie mentioned women's wrestling, currently #1, men's wrestling ranked 8th in the country. And Archie, if I'm right, 17 guys have already qualified for that.
We've already qualified 17 kids for the national tournament.
One other item of note, date-wise, our OCU Athletic Hall of Fame luncheon is scheduled for January 21st. We'll be announcing here in the near future who the honorees are for this year, but we have 3 really terrific folks to honor. So that's a Saturday afternoon. That'll be a luncheon followed by a basketball doubleheader later that day. Okay, let's go with some doors.